Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is August the 4th, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Sunday has been solid so far. Nothing too major. I did do a bit of a grocery hop, which I hate having to do, but I was looking for stuff and I knew I couldn't find it at Kroger, and I figured, okay, let's go to Meijer. And really, my resentment for Meijer grows like with every visit. I was able to get like at least a couple things on my list, but at least one of those things was like not really what I wanted. I just compromised. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I proceeded to try to grocery shop. And then, like, I got to the snack chips and they literally just didn't have any variety. And, like, a thing I'm kind of just maybe it's my personal revelation or realization, whatever. I just feel like they just have a stripped down version of, like, the things you want in a grocery store. They have a lot of stuff, but it's like there's just no variety or not enough of it. I'm not sure what it is that's really getting my go here, but I just always leave Meijer not quite happy. So I just cut it like halfway after I saw the snack chips. I was like, I'm not even really finishing this grocery list. Fuck it. So I just took it to Kroger after that and wrapped it up. So, it's all good at the end of the day. I just hate wasting time, but, is what it is. Let's see. Food corner from last night was burger, hot dogs, and then onion rings and fish sticks. A little bit of, I wouldn't say scran, but, a little bit of this and that. Let's see here. Is there anything else to really report on the me side? Nah, there's not much to really blog about. Let me go ahead and do my startup, and we'll get into the news. Actually, no, I lied. There's more to block about, more to yap. I for my Saturday, I did something that I normally don't do enough of, and hopefully, I get in a better habit of doing. I do clean some, but like this was the first time in years that I actually like tried to thoroughly clean my house and like actually like move some stuff around and stuff like that. So that was a thing. Took a few hours out of my day, but it was worth it. It feels good like looking around at the house. Like I just feel like I don't know, the energy's better. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the news. I feel like maybe I didn't get my drinks. Let me do that. All right. Anyway, from the Associated Press. U.S. and allies prepared to defend Israel and Netanyahu, or defend Israel as Netanyahu says it's already in multi-front war with Iran. We're going to skip down to the meat because it's a lot of rundown stuff. Lots been happening. A stabbing attack on Sunday near Tel Aviv killed a woman in her 70s and an 80-year-old man, according to Israel's Magen David Adom rescue service, and a nearby hospital, and two other men were wounded. The police said the attack was carried out by a Palestinian militant who was neutralized. Inside Gaza, Israel's military said it struck Hamas command centers at two schools in Gaza City, Al Nasir and Hassan Samala. I hope I pronounced that correctly. A doctor at Al Hali Hospital, Fadel Naim, told the Associated Press that they had received 8 bodies while others were taken to Sheikh Redwan Clinic. Earlier, Israeli strikes killed at least 18 people. One hit a tent camp for thousands of displaced Palestinians in the courtyard of Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital, killing 4 people, including 1 woman, and injuring others, Gaza's health ministry said. An AP journalist filmed men rushing to the scene to retrieve bodies while trying to extinguish the fire. The Israeli military said it targeted a Palestinian militant in the strike, which it said caused secondary explosions, indicating the presence of weaponry there. Yeah, they love doing that little excuse. It's like, oh, maybe they had a weapons cache. The hospital in Deir al-Balah is the main medical facility operating in central Gaza, as many others in the territory no longer function. A separate strike on a home near Deir al-Balah killed a girl and her parents, according to the hospital. Another strike flattened a house in northern Gaza, killing at least 8 people, including 3 children, their parents, and their grandchildren, and their grandmother, according to the health ministry. A further 3 people were killed in a strike on a vehicle in Gaza City, according to the civil defense first responders who operate under the Hamas-run government. Read a bit more. Palestinian militants in Gaza fired at least 5 projectiles at Israeli communities near the border without causing casualties or damage, the military said. The military later told police in some parts of southern Gaza's city of Han Yunis to evacuate. An Israeli strike on Saturday at a school-turned-shelter in Gaza City killed at least 16 people and wounded another 21, according to the health ministry, which announced the toll on Sunday. Israel's military, which regularly accuses Palestinian I cannot talk, as always, militants of sheltering in civilian areas, said it struck at a Hamas command center. So, that was a lot in one article. So I figured we're just going to kind of run through that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing from the BBC. Bangladesh anti-government protests kill more than 70. At least 76 people have been killed in Bangladesh amid worsening clashes between police and anti-government protesters. The unrest comes as student leaders have declared a campaign of civil disobedience to demand that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina step down. 13 police officers were killed when thousands of police attacked a police station in the district of Sirajanj. Sorry about that. We know we butchered that. Police said the student protests started with a demand to abolish quotas in civil service jobs last month, but has now turned into a wider anti-government protest, which I'm not surprised. I, kind of assumed that they were like, hey, we're going to wait and hopefully things are going to get better. But sure enough, really things haven't been lifted. Not enough has been done. And so people are going to keep demanding and keep coming out. And in fact, they're going to keep demanding for more. So it's unfortunate that the violence has escalated. The total death toll since the protest movement began in July now stands at 270. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to pull from here. Around 10,000 people have been reportedly detained in a major crackdown by security forces in the past 2 weeks. Those arrested included opposition supporters and students. So yeah, this is obviously unfortunate what's going on to the people in Bangladesh. They're really trying to stand up and fight for, what they feel is their right to be able to work and get these jobs. That's at least where this started. And essentially, it was being withheld from them and given to allies of Hasina, giving her what I believe her 4th term in power. So, it does make sense that people want her to step down. And I'm, of course, not surprised to see her say, no, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep you guys posted. And, hopefully things get better. I saw someone post this on like a random thing on my Facebook, and I'm like, damn, I know this person probably doesn't know that I talk about this shit, when I can, but I know even that is only so much. So, I try to leave it up, but then they posted like images of the stuff. And I'm like, y'all, this Facebook, I'm already getting clapped for quote unquote false information or whatever. They come for you on anything and everything. But anyway, definitely wanted to talk about it on the pod. So let's go ahead and move on to the next article from NPR. Islamic extremist group kills 32 people in attack on beachfront in Somalia's capital. At least 32 people were killed and 63 others wounded in an attack that included a suicide bombing and gunfire in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, according to police. The assault, which began late Friday, took place near a hotel on Lido Beach, a popular hangout spot for Mogadishu residents. A police spokesperson said one soldier died and the rest of the deceased and injured were civilians. Islamic extremist group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the Friday attack. 3 insurgents died in a gunfight with law enforcement, while 1 was captured alive, according to the police. On Saturday morning, a separate roadside bomb exploded 25 miles from the capital, killing 7 more people and injuring 4 others. The country has been inundated with attacks by al-Shabaab for several years. Just last month, al-Shabaab militants attempted to overrun 3 army bases in southern Somalia, leading to a bloody clash between the group and Somali forces. On Saturday, Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed and other federal authorities gathered to discuss strategies for improving the capital's security, according to state media. I'm going to read a little bit ahead here. According to the National Counterterrorism Center, the goal of al-Shabaab is to overthrow the Somali federal government and drive out foreign forces in the country. Another objective for the group, which is linked to al-Qaeda, is to establish a fundamentalist Islamic state, the center said. Al-Shabaab emerged in response to 2 decades of turmoil in Somalia, following the overthrow of the country's military dictatorship. The group attempted to take over southern Somalia in 2006, but was later defeated by Somali and Ethiopian forces. So there you go, a little bit of history there, of how we got here. But yeah, was there anything else I really wanted to pull? No, but obviously, just condolences to the people involved in that. Really sad that you're hanging out on the beach with your friends, your family, just trying to have a nice time, nice night, and it just leads to violence. So yeah, obviously it's very sad, it's very traumatic for the people involved. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our last beat. It's another update from another war front that we haven't talked about as much. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our last break and go ahead and close it out. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. All right. Whew. From CNN. Russian submarine sunk in Crimean port, Ukraine claims. Ukraine's military has claimed it sank. Claimed it sank a Russian submarine in a port in Crimea in what would be another major setback for Moscow in the occupied peninsula. The submarine Rostov-on-Don was hit in the port of Sevastopol on Friday. The General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces said in a statement Saturday. The boat sank on the spot, the General Staff said, without providing further evidence. Now, I do feel like evidence is kind of important. I do believe that they definitely hit this thing. But I'm not they've hit it before, I believe, in September last year. So, I think they were saying, hey, it sunk then. And then next thing you know, they did wind up getting it back out. And it looks like, yeah, they hit it again. So, hey, this is another win for Ukraine. So there you go. Put that feather in the cap. I feel like we haven't really talked about Ukraine wins in a bit. Obviously, there's a whole story here, but I kind of just feel like skipping it. Obviously, we got the meat. Another thing I wanted to add here, just got a whiff of this before I went on. F-16 fighter jets arrive in Ukraine that Zelensky says will boost fight against Russia. So there you go. Another potential dub for Ukraine in the fight right now. So there you go. A little bit of an update for you to close out. That's really where I want to leave it. So no shilling. It's Sunday. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.